Mark Dobson, Kim, here. Gordon, here. Darden, here. Bill, here. All right. So, I have a good announcement to meet with. The reason Mark is absent tonight is because he resigned this morning. He, called me and he said that he had made this decision a few months ago. And he had thought he was going to come through the June meeting since July is when the new terms all start. He said he already did it and had it done, and he just wasn't coming. And because Mario sees the application, I think the board member I estimated the same application. I think so. Yeah, can you post it on the website? And I think what we'd like to do is correct application through June 27th. And then most likely the first week of July. I know the holiday week, so I'll want to see if everyone's available because it's really that will give opportunity to be on the board then. We'll have a special meeting to do interviews like we did last time to interview all the people who have applied for the board position. And then we will, I mean, depending on what it looks like, we can either go that night or we wait until the July meeting, the July board meeting too. July meeting, the 20.
I really want to apply, and I will be gone to the East Coast from July 9th. I already have my tickets from the 9th until the 30th.
Right. Well, I'm talking about like the second, potentially the second-ish, doing the interviews of all the board of all the candidates. So you would, and then we will either, depending on, we'll either make a decision. Because I double checked, and we're gonna have a meeting that week. We can do it a little bit. You and Julie and Darla can get sworn in, so you guys will be sworn in at the social meeting. So you won't have to go through that extra stuff if there's so many things I need to do. And then
We can.
if we're gonna do it then, if we're gonna few people, there could be 12 people, and we may be
Well, about 12 people, like, just want to be. Do you see them? Who?
Then you're good. It doesn't matter if you're gone.
Make sure you list that evening, and then if you are going, that's okay. You don't need to be this digitally.
Okay.
Thank you.
What's the location going to be? In July here. Board meeting now will be here, and a special meeting this Thursday for board training at 5:30. This is Kevin's earlier, is here also.
Will it be available for that?
Yes, the Zoom link is already on the page, so, did you put it on the agenda today? Okay, so, but it's the easiest, I went to the full page to look at it, right? It's pretty easy on the full page. All right, were there any adjustments to the agenda?
June is so busy and July's starting to go.
So, yeah, all right, so we're good. All right, well, okay, and Sam, can you please let us know how things are going on the board?
Okay, so bring the full board up to speed. And let receipt for midnight for the construction project. And we received one bid. The bid came in at about a little over $1.5 million. We do know our grant to budget was another. So it was a little bit of expense. That $1.5 million is just construction. They call that as that's the construction. Okay. Approximately $400,000 in soft costs. What soft costs are is that's the fees associated with building something. So when you go to City of London, something, and that's included in this fees. OHA, and that, then you included this. So if you think about it, 100 total. So what we did is we went back and said, hey, we'd like a 60-day extension to consider it and show a conversation. Because interestingly enough, what we were was the subcontract in the bid. We know that Ryan Moore had to send some information to this, to the board. And so what we did is we scheduled a meeting with them, and met with them recently. And we're working through, here's the deal. When you got it half your budget, half the scope is a real challenge, and half the budget is a real challenge. So we're trying to make it work. Okay. Things like the engineering and stuff like that. So a lot of the alternatives that we're looking at may not necessarily be this, but what we're looking at is the core. What can we do to extend the life of the pool for the long term? Okay. I think it was a pretty favorable meeting. We have some great ideas. No promises, because obviously coming down to $1 million, but we feel like we can get to some type of agreement. We could still continue the project, and we feel good. We're going to be a new quote back in 2 weeks. If at that point we feel like we can proceed, and we will move forward and move quickly, because we want to make sure that we're along the same timelines as what we discussed before, which is basically having the pool online no later than November 1st. So, unfortunate news. We're trying our best to figure out a solution. This is the bottom line.
The original estimates from Rymore, between that time and then the recent where it's 1.5. What changed in that?
Funny you should ask. You have the exact same question. Like is more this is a and Ryan did Steve for that, so they bring in a general contractor. And so the general contractor is basically Ryan's going to do the design, all of the support work, and the general contractor is going to do the heavy lifting, if you will, with the labor. So that's all we're about. So that's really the difference.
Okay.
And the other one was search tank versus mulch tank. So we established that when we do a search tank, we have a liquid search tank. So that was included in the list of the higher bid. So you take that and it was running piping from the main drain to the search tank, and that will be a pretty significant savings.
And you'll
So-
see that in 2 weeks, what
Yes.
kind of lower number.
Yes. So the power, we're optimistic. I mean, optimistic. We always do. So at the end of the day, we're hopeful, also realistic.
Thank you.
All right. Are you good?
Good.
All right. All right, second item oh, we need to approve I need to something, I'm so good at that. Approve the May minutes from the budget committee meeting, the regular board meeting, and the emergency. Has everybody had a chance to look at them? Yeah.
Yeah, can I get my name corrected?
Oh, it was wrong in one of in the emergency meeting. Is that, you know, I don't right now. It was the emergency meeting.
Yeah, my name on minutes is listed above, and then I think it's incorrect, and then down below is correct.
Yes.
So, look at that. Yeah, I have a phone that's on here, so.
Yeah, we'll get that. Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna approve the budget committee meeting minutes, the board minutes, regular board minutes, and the emergency.
So I'll move that we approve these minutes with the correction to the name as requested.
All right. Thank you. We have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. There's no one left, so there's no one opposed. You know, I asked for adjustments to the agenda if you want to do that change and have us take over the agenda.
However, that would be that way. The next one? That's fine.
Yep. Okay. All right, so, yes, we can introduce Ross. This is Ross, he is, graciously, he's helped us do the minutes once. We're looking for kind of a recording secretary for me. So that we have someone who's just working on minutes, and so, sounds like next.
Sorry, I'm having tough time hearing you. Can you try and say it all again for me?
So Rob has, we need a recording secretary, someone so Jeremy can pay attention to the meeting and not type all the notes. So he has offered to do that for me. All right.
Did you want that? That I like to do, that's my,
Want to be board.
it has to be a board member?
No.
Yeah,
You shouldn't be able, should be somebody that
I'm-
openly says you're putting in an application for it.
But I may not get the job.
You're right.
Just saying,
There's no reason you can't, step up and ask, they both have to be elected by the board,
try.
each position.
Yeah.
That's a perk you're going to.
We go to see the world, and I think that I'm really love doing that. Like a lot of things get done and I being told to the people that come. Remember that was fun. Probably. We talked about it a lot. Oh, yeah, that was. Sorry.
I thought we settled it. But I think agree that Jeremy is tied up doing minutes. He needs to be freed up.
It's not an elected position, it's an appointed position by the board if they choose when to do it. And of wealth of riches, we have two people on a house, Jeremy.
Agreement at every meeting, so. Board of Alderman. Yeah,
You know, the other.
all right. So we will revisit that at the July board meeting. There's another page.
And looks like,
Yes. All right, so on unfinished business, at the budget committee meeting, we made a caveat to the approval that we were going to revisit the full-time employee position. And so we need to do that before we do a vote and a resolution to adopt the budget.
I'd like to make a motion that we set the budget as approved by the budget committee with the understanding that you at the next board meeting with board weighing in on being full-time employee and point when we're looking to reduce spending to meet the repairs. And I've said this at the budget committee meeting, say it again, I'd like to offer the suggestion that we pause on any additional full-time position in favor of using those funds towards the repairs, which are still being worked out. Thank you again, in the update, Will. Doesn't mean it's to take it forever, but it means now for the budget, we will move on without the FTE. And so now we come back.
Okay, I disagree. I think that the position is sorely needed. It's an authority.
I make a motion and then.
To have a discussion.
Right, to give a brief.
What is, what you, I thought because we're not talking about it now or with.
So we are. We've been doing. this, Right, you're supposed to make a whole chicken, whole beef. So we're just trying to get in terms of alignment with the. We've been doing it,
Okay, we ready to, first of all, I would not second that because of my difficulty.
the, you wouldn't,
Well, I don't know what to say, but. Sounds like, what do you think about waiting? Because we should wait because of repair costs. And I'm saying, no, we shouldn't wait. And I think it needs to be addressed tonight. And I think we need to pass the budget with that position approved by the board. Why we can't approve it tonight is beyond me. The position is needed. And you all, may I go on or, all right, I'm glad. You all got these colorful and if you want any. Now, this is just part of what I'm gonna talk about. The position, call it a new position, it's not actually a new position. We did away with, we stopped filling a position for a head. Was it a year ago? And sometime. And, but at this point, one of the things that I wish to show you is the attendance. It's only been rising, it's been rising a lot since advertising has been done. Now, the new position is an aquatics coordinator. In head guard with additional duties that include the advertising on social media and otherwise. It's creating special events. It's assisting in the great deal of office work that we know that Jill needs right now. Even was proposed before Laura Lee was absent. This was needed before they're down one person in the office. And it's needed more than ever now. I know this members of the board have been in the past about, for instance, opening on Sunday. One of these issues is that it's hard to find labor on Sunday. But new position that we're talking would help and not hold up doing such. There's hardly any room for growth. If the growth can't be handled, there's been a suggestion that this position be filled by 2 part-time people or more. And I have to say that this really is a time person's position and skilled position, somebody who can oversee lifeguard, somebody who can handle administrative functions, do the advertising. This was of the proposed budget, and we passed it based on the board approving this position. And I honestly don't see any reason to hold back at this point and wait a few months. And the repair for the pool, who's been handling its repair cost? We're talking about the cost of the renovation. And before we do this renovation, you could argue that for a few months of a new position would save us, well, a bit of change. But that's not the good reason right now to avoid acting on this and approving this. And I would like to move, well, now, I'm not ready. Well, yes, I am. I would like to make a motion myself. We can clear up Darla's motion, if you like.
We already did a
I'll make. Alright, I'll make a motion that we approve the aquatics coordinator position tonight, right now. As it is already laid out in the budget, and give the pool some help right now, and don't just keep putting it off and letting things slide. I'm not in favor of that. And it's not just because it's my last meeting. So there's my motion. Anybody brave enough, willing to second it? Crickets.
Well, if you consider a lot of what you said, Lori, my concern is at the moment, what if our decisions are between losing the pool because our income came in so much higher, we haven't figured that problem out, versus reducing the offering to the pool for a year or so, or we get the.
Reducing the what for the pool for a year or so? The offerings. I disagree. You are in talks with what can be done. We know that four issues can and will be done with this money. There's discussion about what other things are necessary to keep the pool open. And to not vote for this position for the reason that maybe the pool might break down is not a good argument. Now, so I still feel that the figures prove it. The growth has been great. The amount of time the pool is covered every day but Sunday. And when we get this advertising as it has in, you've seen it all. If you've seen any on Facebook and Instagram, I don't know all, but it's out. And people getting in, and they're coming, and people want to keep coming. We can grow the programs. We can add Sunday and improve our attendance. Even from where it is right now. So I disagree with the arguments. I, again, would like to see us add this position as it was planned in the original budget. May we consider that tonight?
That's what we're doing right now, considering.
Well, thanks for the second, you guys.
Can I have clarification? Can I ask?
I should hope.
on what?
Well, just shut. So the budget, a budget meeting, committee. Right? And they hear you. Want to review. And they must. For you guys to look at and say, yes, no. Those people here, because I'm trying to learn from you.
When we had that broad answer, and then you can correct me if you need to. When we had that broad budget meeting in May with the entire budget committee, there was a vote taken after all the presentation and discussion, and that budget, as it was presented, was approved to be, now that once that it comes to the board to basically enact it or not. One thing about that vote, because I know who proposed the vote, it was the caveat that because the board wanted to discuss this additional administrative role, that the budget was passed contingent on this board approving what was put in that position. So we have to approve it. And formally, we should approve it in this meeting because the budget needs to be approved and finalized by the end of this month.
Okay.
So the next question. We don't do questions during a meeting like this is why I but we don't. Station, instead of letting the board take care of the board legit.
Is raising his hand.
So within. With Laura Lee, who's in charge? Is there one person in charge? No,
Jill.
who's in charge of to,
The budget is the responsibility of the board.
so all 5 of you or
Right.
currently have to agree?
Not you.
But you have to agree. Do you know why it was put into the budget the way it was?
No, because we have no discussions with Laura Lee on it. Where to-
She talked about it at the budget.
It was fun.
So very, very nice.
I still feel the same way, and Lori, I'm not objecting to what you're saying at all. I'm what you're saying, but that you can make a decision, the time, because position, support for Jill, who has stepped into this role, to be able to run the school efficiently and effectively as we do today. I agree about the growth, but we are coming up on the 2 to 3 month closure. And that's a lot of my reasoning is when we come back up after the repairs, I'm hoping we'll do something like a grand reopening. And then reset and see where the growth and
And are you aware that between now and the closure of the pool, if this goes forward, we're in it now, summer has done, and the pool is busier than everything in the summer. So why must we wait until all of that dies down to put what you're calling help for Jill in the office? Why, yes,
well, right now, for you, I believe we do have help in the office of plan.
As a budget committee member, I was involved in a discussion. Can I provide a point of clarification?
One point, and we need to move on.
When we were discussing the budget and this position, this FTE came up, and there was some resistance to moving it. Then I asked for clarification from Laura Lee, and she stated that that position has been available in the past, that the person that had that position left, and so they didn't fill it. And so it wasn't in last year's, it's in this year's suggested, because of the difficulty of the non-line budget after it's been approved and going forward, that you could prove the budget and put the budgetary note in there that the position not being filled with the evaluation of what the financial circumstances will be. There's not enough information right now, other than the increase in the use of the pool. But I encourage you not to take that line item out of it. It's too difficult to put that.
That's the thing, it's not, it's exactly the same to take it out or put it. So there is no difference.
We did there. It's supplemental budget.
That was fine. And thing I'd like to point out is student budget is not fair. So all of the positions that were up, you pay FTE, and the head left are right here, it's not pay FTE.
As I mentioned, the new position, it's the head guard position, which, right, is on previous budget. And it doesn't say PE, but take that head guard position and add the administrative and advertising variety of things in the office that is needed. Then that position should be FTE, 40 hours a week.
So I think we listen.
So, if you listen really,
It's already, and I don't think.
I apologize for the disrespect. This is my last meeting, as you probably all know. I'm just. Never mind.
So I'd like to restate my motion, which is I'm creating the TE group. And to move forward with the adjusted budget, removing the FTE and the fringe benefits, basically. Some of the funds back into temporary for time, some of it into the building. The percentage of rest they do.
One general motion. Yeah,
So we know the numbers for the salary and we know where we can move it. We're gonna need Jill and separated branch portion to know what. Right, so we're going to put. I think what you're suggesting is that we move $20,000 into the part-time.
give us the option to bring back that kind of position we had.
Yes.
Yeah, if we reduced it like 15, so we want to put $20,000 into the posting budget, so that Jill can be, and then the rest will be split between the building fund and the unappropriated fund. So none of the changes will be over 10%, which means that we can improve this in all regions.
And it also money for this. Yeah.
We're right at, as Will mentioned, we're right at a breaking point. On the thing that we committed. Some of these numbers are so close, another $20,000. Doesn't mean the school district step up for an additional. We,
It's not boring, like I like to, but I guess it's a halfway point.
it gives us more access to the funding we'll need. And there will be other things removed from the list. Which will be discussed. But we've had some good creativity and we think we're really gonna be down to the last amounts really matter. And what we save by doing this is another year of inflation, where next year we might be able to afford it. Between labor and materials, so so it's looking at, can we save a full year? Make additional repairs as we on in a year and 2 years, pieces. Now, which is beyond at the current.
My preference would be to remove this position. See what Corey is saying.
But we're not taking pieces. Resource can still be filled with the 100%. 2 pieces. Some people.
If you remove it all together, just want to hear the argument.
Well, at the moment, we've got 2 big things going on. We're trying to save the people, to use as much money as possible to allocate for that. And currently, we managed to make things work. So that would be on the thing, but take some fair arguments, and Darla's got a compromise to allow us to add some, if not all, school position back.
But your feeling is,
My feeling is very necessary when we're on skew. Try to keep our budget tight, you know, what we can do. That's what my preference. I don't think I have
so a lot of these arguments are being based on the repair. Or the sense is, repair is the hill we need.
me, that is we're gonna approve it temporary. Make sure that I can get,
Well, then this is a temporary thing to make sure that you can get the repair done and just leave it in there. I think the compromise is the better option, that or remove. Or second time.
all right.
What do you want?
So, you'll put the money in there,
Peter's making their,
sure.
okay. So we have a motion to pause on the position, remove it from the current budget. Reallocate the funds into the places for part-time contingent and building. And revisit this once we have better, view of what it looks like for, the repairs. There's a double. So why?
You're gonna revisit. Say it again,
It's just not clear.
Revisit. They kind of smoothly, and we know that the repairs are. I think
when will that, like, I'm probably. The November meeting, you'll be able to, well, discuss. How, where we landed. Anything else that comes before a new position. Is there anything else that has to happen? If we're good, then we'll talk about the new position and. Okay, if you sound, still wanna give us something that.
So I stated the motion, you got what you needed minutes, right? So all in favor of Marlowe's motion?
I mean,
All opposed?
Nay,
So Jill, I'll need your help figuring out how to come up with those final numbers so that I can fill out the form. And then we'll get the sign for you because we turn it in for the county or in for someone. So we will get that patient there. Okay. So that was the budget conversation and the resolution. Oh, so one other thing, I know we did the resolution for the budget, but did we need to do a separate, like another vote for the trade?
Yes.
So, we have to adopt. The budget committee approved 20%, and now we have to adopt the tax. So the budget committee approved 24 cents for the tax rate for the next fiscal year.
Yeah.
This is directly out of the local budget law, the word original adopting the budget should state the total amount of all budget requests. So. Just going back to the last motion.
Right.
You're.
Okay, okay.
The tax rate when this.
Well, we can transfer those shade and then here's the tax rate and then here's. Well, the difference, are they imposing in a category, right? Is that the same thing?
Imposing.
Is that the, okay. All right, be it resolved, the board of directors of Lebanon Aquatic Systems hereby adopt the budget for fiscal year 25-26 in the total of that's a math problem, 1.3,066,625. Now on file at the Lebanon Community Control, will be updated tomorrow. Be it resolved that the amount for the fiscal year beginning July 1st for the purposes shown below are hereby appropriated 1.3 million. Be it resolved that the board of directors of the Lebanon Aquatic District hereby imposes the tax provided for the adopted budget. The tax rate will be 24 cents per $1,000 of tax value, the permanent tax rate. And that these taxes are hereby imposed and categorized for tax year 25-26 on the assessed value of all taxes within the district. As follows: permitted tax rate 24 cents.
and make a motion that we adopt that.
All right,
Second.
one second, and all in favor? Aye. All opposed? Okay. So, is that all the housekeeping we need for the budget? Okay, all those. Okay. So the contingency fund, or not, okay, not contingency fund, we need to talk about the, transferring money from the contingency fund to the 2012 federal fund. So as we all are very aware, it cannot be a negative amount that we have at the end of the year. Currently, there is, $564.62. And we still have some meat fees and, some payroll to make. So Bill helped me today and we came up with, an amount of $3,000 that we would like to move from the contingency fund into the swim club fund to make sure that we're not negative into the budget. So I will read this.
Go ahead.
Absolutely.
So you're doing, basically looking from there between the funds from a practical standpoint that I'm going to transfer $3,000 from the checking account.
That's the first paperwork clarification. At some point, we're gonna figure out how much you actually need to transfer from the swim club into the general fund, because there's $20,000. There will be, the money, that physical money will be going that way, but this is a vote for us to take money out of the contingency fund to put into the swim club fund on paper. Yes. Yeah, very close. Okay, so I need number and notes. Over there it is, 14084. Oh. Resolution number 25, reach resolution of the board of directors and an aquatic district transferring funds from contingency fund category to special fund 300. Whereas the board of directors of the Lebanon Aquatic District has determined that there are sufficient funds in the district contingency fund for fiscal year 24-25 in the amount of $24,084. And whereas ORS 294-361W permits the board to transfer from the contingency fund of the municipal corporation to the special fund category when authorized by. Now, therefore, the board acting as the governing body of the district hereby resolves as follows. That the board hereby authorizes transfer funds from the district's contingency funds to the special fund in the amount of $3,000. That the treasurer is hereby authorized to transfer approved and adopted by the board of Lebanon Aquatic District the 16th day of June 2025.
I move we adopt this resolution as presented.
Okay. I'll second. All right, all in favor? Aye. All right. So I would. Right after. Okay. So contingency fund. All right, Bill, before I read the next resolution, do you want to talk about the update?
Well, it's just, basically, our, every July, we usually raise our rates up a little bit, just to go with the minimum wage goes up for all the part-time employees, 75 cents. So we're just raising the rates just a little bit. There's a sheet here, 25 cents more to get in the door. 10 visits, flashcards are $5 more. And then the memberships are just a little bit more. Swimming lessons will stay the same price until September, because we're already selling out July and August
What are the August dates?
I believe we go to the middle of August, but we might, yeah.
Okay, we're gonna be,
I haven't, yeah, I haven't published the last session in the morning. The evening lessons I know go to the 15th, of the 15th. So we may not, yeah, we may not do the last morning session. It's not published, right? Yeah, I can't tell you what the dates are right.
Maybe.
It seems like we usually end around the 15th of August to give the instructors a break, so.
all right, does anyone have any questions about the proposed fee changes? Okay, here I go again. Resolution number 2025-61. A resolution of the Board of Directors of the Lebanon Aquatic District establishing new user fees and charges for district facilities and services. Whereas Lebanon Aquatic District is authorized to establish and collect reasonable charges for the use of the facilities of the district and issue appropriate evidence of the payment of such charges. Whereas Lebanon Aquatic District is authorized to make rate adjustments based on the financial climate and adopt this fee increase in resolution. Now therefore be it resolved by the Board of Directors of the Lebanon Aquatic District that the district shall change rates for user fees in district and out of district as attached effective July 7th. Lesson rates will increase effective September 1st. Adopted by the Board of Directors of the Lebanon Aquatic District dated June 2025.
I move we adopt resolution number 2025-6-1 as presented.
Second. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, Darla, you're up.
Okay, we've been, having an ongoing conversation, potentially moving for bank from People's Bank here in Lebanon to Lucas, which has branches in Lebanon. One reason is because Umpqua has a relationship with has had a past relationship with the GIP, which is the main savings vehicle, to give an increased savings rate to their customers. Would be nice. Also, they're really familiar and have their own ministry team, which we their own vision. And the entire recommended exploded. So we're looking at. And so I'll have to face the next meeting. With Jeremy, keeping this LGIP, trying to build on, getting more interest.
That sounds good.
Thanks.
Any extra money, right?
Yeah.
All right,
Needs it.
all right. Nobody has out oral request forms. Are there any final questions from the public? Oh, we're online, yes. I like that we can see people that way very much. Okay. All right, Jeremy, you're up with the treasurer report.
Still trying to actually really down here. So very simple, our program revenue keeps up significantly year over year. This month, we're going through those two now. So it's my trend. And we're rest these. We're going up over last year. So I'll let you vote.
But they're
Busy. It is busy this year.
you want to go over and get the since I don't complete it. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, I had a, there's any details of what like. That data.
Yes.
Our little woman's on the radio.
I know she noted in the email sending out the financial statements that there were 2 additional ones. I was curious what. Oh,
they're left. Very, very.
Yeah, yourself.
I'm shooting it.
So now, we're, shaking. Yeah.
Joe's already in shot.
It's kind of nice to hear the actual numbers, because none of us can see the actual numbers, it's kind of nice. It's-
It shows you the differences. And the balance. Okay. Joe?
Well, the pool is, going strong with starting summer swimming lessons this morning, which went quite smoothly. I expected the worst and it was great. It was just, crazy. But, we're completely full. Pretty much don't have any room unless there's gas station. And we're filling up the future lessons. We did Julie's wellness fair, last month. And that was great, out in the sun where was it? Pioneer. And that was great. We had a table and exposure for the pool. We also, probably will do, there's another, one that I believe the school district is gonna do also in August. That is gonna be, I can't remember, it's 1440, and they're gonna set up stuff at the bowling alley in the parking lot in the 1440. It's gonna be kind of in that area. That's gonna be another event. That'll be good. Everything's going great. I don't have a lot to. You do have something though.
You did a good job.
Yeah. Okay. Keep it together.
David, when they think of. You know, one is. Joe informed me that, for the, week of July, so I do have it scheduled. for-
In other words, we don't have lessons.
There
We're
you
not
go.
down. We just. That's the funding.
If we're finding. This,
Yeah.
we into back order for 3 weeks, it's supposed to be shipped out, but who knows how long,
You got your star?
yeah.
Did you get? When was ordering? You are. You hit trucking. You want to be ordering.
Like he's talking. It took the manufacturer,
Yeah, it's okay anymore.
so if we can't. Get it, just show up. Sitting there. You love. Trisha. And he said over his best to fit it in. Well, we would only be down, we'll be down for 2 days. So
Just the one.
just
Yeah, it'd be nice if it's. Not.
so that's all I. So. Very nice to learn as well.
Just relay to you one thing, and we had a great conversation. I just wanted to remind everybody that in January, we extended the veteran 25% discount to all the school employees. So school employees, contractors, anyone doing anything with the school bus drivers, whatever, and the veterans all get 25%. So off the pass, yes, not a single visits or flashcards. Right. So just a reminder that that's out there in case anyone says, about the rates going up. I think it's still get less than current rate.
Yeah.
If you, or you just buy it for your life run out, and then you just not good thing. You fucking create top fires. Not truly, think you're calling you go. That's pretty good. Right. Well, remarks from the director. Maureen,
Oh, my goodness.
we have. Over the years, been on the.
Oh, that's been a lot of years, state agency in my career.
Any words for your last director's report or board or from your Jim?
I just wanna say that I looked. Well, you can say, you just say, no, I didn't, I've had a hard time coming to this day. But I made a hard decision that I could not, I've got needs. Powerful needs. And I just am so grateful for, it's been 12 years in this board. And I love the pool, and I believe in the pool, and I have watched the pool grow. And it's, well, I look forward to keeping an eye on it and watching the renovation come to pass, and then, and at some point, if some of you are still around, we're gonna have a new pool in town someday. People want it. I hear that all the time. Hey, did you check me out?
It will be some kind of after the renovation, grand reopening. Can't have it. We would love if you would with that. Go ahead.
Champagne.
What is it up? In the pool, champagne. And you can't. And this last time,
Yeah.
but it's no one's. Yeah. Already moved. Now, musicians thing, like, from here, hopefully, all right, working. You asked about, Bill Jim.
Great, final one. And pool opening and after the renovation, that's a big one thing and be involved in. You know, things like you can do these things before they happen, like, how do you find around and stuff? Where you get involved? We've been using, with Bill and we've been using, before. So I think we just continue to announce things on the website. You just have to check that all the time. Well, and so one thing I would like, to start doing is having a committee. And like 2 people from the public, 2 people from the staff, 2 people from the board. And do these kinds of fun things. It's getting money in the budget for people to be staff to be paid to be on. Well, I have to leave that. Just, I have to, just say, we want to be more inclusive. And the one thing I do want to say is next year, my plan would be, we start talking about the budget in January. You don't wait till the budget committee meeting where everybody hears the first time. We help create the budget. So at the point we go to the budget committee for a final budget, that should be the final image. Right, not like this year where we were concerned with what we did in the meeting. So I'm just saying, inclusive, let's have you on the committee, let's have anybody on the committee. So it got from where else besides checking the site? I mean,
I think in the meetings, the hearing and talk about it. Yeah, that's probably,
so your new piece of paper says that you have to have the stuff ahead of time and give you, and then you'll talk about it, and then what if you don't have to read?
the minutes are posted and it's on YouTube. You can watch the meeting as soon as we walk out of here. You can go home and watch the meeting again if you want to. And you can keep going about the project.
What do you look? To communicate, you know, be at the meeting. Meeting down, spend it.
if you're. Now you're. Okay. I mean, if you think about what needs to say, that I know you're all packing up and ready to go, but if anything less, I have referral. Like from the audience so that you could talk, but I wasn't really prepared, but I really wanted to speak up and say that after Jill, how she felt about the money's in the budget for to have benefits, what you feel about.
Oh, well, I will abide by the board.
Sorry, can you please speak for that?
Just abide by the board.
One other, just a community piece of information. Darla had noticed that someone had, posted about what we thought weapon school rate, employee rate,
The teacher, yeah, there was a lady who, she had to pay in the district, the district, she worked with the school district, lives.
so all of these paid, if you see things like that, please ask them to go to the website and use the comments tab. Jill doesn't monitor Facebook, but she gets notifications if someone fills out the contract form on the website. And so we want to make sure people are getting answers. Those questions, and if no one answers, then we're just leaving people hanging, so just a note.
And you're using all media, a little bit of. Maybe, like you.
Website and.
I do monitor.
They are.
A little more honest. Yeah, that's what I've been doing.
There was only.
Did you, they're doing that already?
Yeah, were we tagged? I didn't see.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. It wasn't meant to be a piece of great. Teacher out.
Do you have any further recommendations? Lori, do you want to make the final motion?
Yeah.
Yeah, but before I do, I thought, Lori, you dared. There was this one thing that we had, tabled a couple of meetings back that I keep needing to, request that it go back on, and that was something about how the website, you mentioned the website needed to be updated according to the new requirement. Yep, and, so it was tabled, but then not brought back, and just.
And I agree, if we could just go back on, but we didn't have tried, think we both that one too. We had, we wanna make sure you get that on.
So it's still living. I move that we adjourn tonight's meeting. Just kidding, you guys.
So you're just needed.
Second.
Why? Fun.